first one.
So Chase, I'm gonna make a car. I'm gonna build a car, and then I'm gonna robustly test the car, but I'm only have 2 people test it.
And maybe robustly is a relative term. I don't know.
Yikes.
I'm not sure. I'm not too sure.
I want to test the class's knowledge on the math that I've been teaching, but I'm only going to test 2 people.
But that doesn't... Yep, nope.
That doesn't make any sense.
I'll open up the blind so I don't look like, oh, the C went up my E.
Oh. And then, of course, the Ascent. You know about that game, right? Obviously, right? Yeah.
Yes.
The Ascent is coming out tomorrow at 10 a.m., which is I'm pretty excited about. It looks to be like a pretty cool game.
Yeah. There was a few things I saw. There's a new AAA single-player studio from developers from The Last of Us and Call of Duty devs. Actually, it's Naughty Dog, Infinity Ward, Sony Santa Monica, Bungie. They've all joined together to make a single-player third-person game. And one of the quotes in here I really liked is, in the importance of single-player narratives and that story and gameplay are not 2 distinct ideas, but rather extensions of one another. I like that quote. Okay. So I'm like, oh, good. And they have over $100 million in funding.
Jesus.
And they plan on going from right now it's 40 teams, and they're split up in 2 2 separate locations, one in Los Angeles and one in San Diego. And yeah, they have former Call of Duty leads, Last of Us leads, God of War, Destiny, Fortnite. The company that made Crossfire is funding it, but not any of the people who made Crossfire. And that's good because Crossfire, I played 5 minutes of it and it was bleh. Yeah, so I like that. So I don't know if we want to talk about that more. There's this other game. It's called Weird West.
Okay.
I want to have your little thoughts and ideas of it. There's a game, Mortal Shell. Have you heard of that?
Yeah, I think I've heard of that.
Virtuous Cycle. There's like a big old article about Replace that I haven't read yet, so I don't know if I want to talk about that. Respawn team building team to work on new single player adventure games. It's the people who made the Last Jedi guy, or the Last Jedi guy. Jesus Christ, the Last Jedi game.
And Titanfall, you mean? Also, that's what they're mostly known for. Respawn, and Apex as well.
I would say Last Order. Last Order is their best game that I've
Titanfall. There was a hashtag Save Titanfall 3, or yeah, that was trending on Twitter because people want a Titanfall 3. I don't really know why they wouldn't make a Titanfall 3. I don't understand that. I don't. That to me, I'm like, why would you not do that? Everyone loved Titanfall 2.
It was good.
And they're like,
it's really good.
Well, we're not gonna make a 3.
Came together. I'll come together.
And then, so there's another game called Tribes of Midgard that I would like to talk about. It just came out, actually. It came out yesterday.
I think I heard about that one. The Dead Space remake. Have you seen the trailer for it that they released?
Yes.
Okay, you saw it. Awesome.
I was like,
what about New World? Have you heard anything about New World?
Yeah. I don't know. I've seen gameplay on it. I know about it. Ricky swears by it. No, it's so fucking, oh my god, bro! Like the game is just so fucking good. And like I watch it, and it's basically the same thing as every MMO RPG. I'm just like, is there like I'm obviously like they're good games. I don't doubt that it's not a good game, but it's just the combat. Like I watched the combat, and it's just like. There's no way we can expand. Like that's how MMORPGs started out. That's how combat started out in MMORPGs, basically. Like it was real dry, just kind of. and the enemies just stand there and swing at you. There's no way, with all the technology and how far we've come in fucking video games, there's no way to change to make the combat better? Like, I don't know. Maybe they just kept it because the MMORPG fans like that kind of combat better.
Maybe.
I don't know, but I don't know how you would like that combat better over God of War's combat or Horizon Zero Dawn or Ghost of Tsushima. And I'm not saying it had the combat and the MMO, like, I'm not saying the combat in New World has to be like that. But just upgrade the fucking shit. Like, why is it always the same? That for me turns me off. Especially, like I said, and I understand, like, the games like that, they have very longevity. They have a lot of, longevity. And another problem, too, they had an alpha last year. People were playing it. And then the beta came out, and they wiped it. They wiped everyone's stuff, the progress. The beta came out. The game's not coming out for another month. When the game fully releases, they're wiping everyone's progress. Why would I play that game? Why would I, I don't understand that. What? Like, that to me, the devs are brain dead.
Unless they told you. Like, I wouldn't want to play a beta and then, like, if I'm really involved in the game, maybe have my progress go over. But, like, I would want, like, a fresh starting point. Like, if you have a beta, just tell everybody. I don't know if they said that or didn't tell anybody.
Well, yeah, I mean, that's fine. I get that. No, I'm pretty sure they did. Did. But, like, I'm just like, and dude, they charged for the alpha. It was like $30. And you're like, people paid. You're guaranteed whatever to be in the beta, but you're charging people $30 just to wipe their progress.
Do they get the game at the end of it, or do they have to pay for? They should have the game. So they have the game though. Like.
No, yeah, I'm pretty sure they have the game. I'm not sure if they have to pay extra. I'm pretty sure they bought it and then they already have the game. They don't have to pay extra.
Okay, so you bought the game for $30 instead of the 60 or 70.
Yeah,
maybe when it comes out. I don't know.
But like that, and that's one of the reasons why, like, MMORPGs, like, I've tried a good amount. Well, I wouldn't say a good amount, but I've tried a couple, and like I like the the how much stuff there is to do. That part is really cool, and obviously the co-op aspect. But just trying getting past that combat, just this static enemies that I'm hitting, and they're just attacking me, and we're just doing this. And I'm like, this is dumb. This is so fucking boring. Like, I want, like, if I hit someone, that's just me. That's just my, if I hit something with a fucking giant sword, I want there to be a fucking reaction. Like, oh, they fall back. What the fuck ever. But, I don't know. Anyways, but yeah. Maybe I'll look into it when the game fully releases, when New World fully releases. I'll look into it. I know there's been a lot of devs or streamers streaming it and stuff like that, and all that kind of good stuff. But
it's been, and then I played because I bought Watch Dogs Legion. Mm-hmm. Have you played any of that?
Yeah, I bought it when it released.
Okay, I really like that. I don't know if it's different now. That it's
well, I know they've had since the release, they've had a lot of updates and stuff like that.
6 or 7 months after the game came out. But just the fact that how everything is integrated and you can be anybody, I thought I wouldn't like that. Love it. I love it. I put permadeath on. I put it on hard. The only thing I don't like about hard is it's just a video game. I don't understand. I shoot someone in the head with a bullet. They don't die because it's on hard. So I don't understand. Now, have characters have body armor if I put it on hard.
Like a helmet.
But if I have a handgun and I shoot someone in the head, it takes off half their life. No. This isn't an RPG. This is an open world game. So I'm just.
To me, honestly, that's laziness. To me, that's just laziness.
I don't understand. Just have the body part. Just like the body, that's fine. More hits in the body. Okay, fine. That's okay. They're stronger, whatever. But and also, I don't understand why they don't do this. So they can differentiate your head from your body, right? Just have a little sweet spot right here for your heart, so you can shoot them twice in the chest, or shoot them in the chest or whatever. And then they have different. If you get hit right here, they go down, but they don't die right away. They're still maybe alive.
I know exactly what you mean. And that game, they could implement that with really no effort.
I don't know how it is because I know that you have to like in fighting games you have to put hitboxes like around the enemy. So I don't know if they have a limited number of hitboxes, but
They
with
can just make more
today's
technology. Yep. Mm-hmm.
I don't know. I don't know if it's like
Well, it's just like
hardwired in.
it's just like Red Dead Redemption 2. You know, when you shoot, when you go into, when you're hunting and you go into, uh, well, oh my God, help me out.
The animals?
No, when you go into when you do
Deadeye?
slow mo. Yeah, Jesus Christ.
That's fine.
Um,
You're
you
right.
can
They have
see,
little
like,
little
these
yeah.
little spots where you just hit them in it, and and they
Same
don't
thing.
die right away
You're
unless you
right.
hit them in the head.
They have it. They have it.
Mm-hmm.
They have the technology. I don't know why they don't. It's
Either
beyond.
save money or they're just, like I said, they're lazy.
I don't. I mean, they spend years making this game, and they spend. They have long development cycles. Everyone complains about crunch. But the game
Yeah.
is so intricate. Just how the city is built.
Yeah.
Like I'm fine. Like nothing is weird. But playing Cyberpunk and seeing how weird people act. This game I haven't seen people actually go in and out of doors. It's so simple. It
Yeah.
is so simple. They go in and out of doors, like doors that I can't access.
Yeah.
They'll go into like they're coming and going from their home.
Yeah.
Finally, just something instead of just they're always walking. They're existing because I'm there. But in this game, it's
Dude,
not.
I remember you remember the first Watch Dogs reveal with Aiden Pierce? You
Yeah.
remember the very first one where they showed him walking down the street and like it looked so incredible, and then the game comes out and nothing like that. I'm just like, so they're basically lying to us. They're basically lying. Same thing with the Division, that first reveal gameplay.
Yeah.
The destruction on when he was on the car and the fucking bullets hit the windshield on the car and how nothing like it. Like what we want that game. What are you guys doing? You're basically fucking lying to us.
Well, I think instead of saying like because I think what they do is they put like the bigger. How do I explain this? The bigger the game is, the less detail they can have in it. So the reason like Fight Night, Round 4's character models still hold up is because there's just two people. That's all they have to worry about in that little area. So when they build those versions of the game, I think the game isn't expanded. It's just that little area, and they can put all of the detail in there.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
So I'm trying to think of how it's made because I saw this one. I went back and watched. I'm an idiot. But there's this developer. He works on the NBA 2K games, and he was a community guy. He's like a basketball coach, knows a lot about plays and stuff like that. So they hired him to do the AI for all the plays and like what teams run and even the historic teams, which is really cool. They'll have specific that offenses don't run anymore, but they put him in the game. So he'll go back, watch old tapes, and put him in. He's a really cool guy. And so they were trying to fix something something wasn't running properly, and they wanted to turn it off. They wanted to remove the off option in the menus, but by removing just the word off, it crashed the whole game.
That's just weird.
Yeah. So it's like, to me, it seems like a house of cards. Like, so say you build something and then you just remove that one little piece. You think, I can just remove this. It's not that big of a deal. But they still had to have off.
Crashing down.
Yeah, they still had to have off in the menu, and then you had to select something else. So to get it to work properly. So I don't know.
Yeah. What something reminded me when you were talking about basketball. This isn't about video games, but it was just funny. I can't remember who it was, but somebody went on Twitter and tried to say, I think it was the Celtics. They tried to call the Celtics out for never having a black coach, or for the first time having a black coach or whatever. And the people called this person out. It was like, they've had like 5 black coaches. Yeah. And he deletes the tweet and then says, my account got hacked. I was like, oh my God. Oh my God. It just goes to show what fucking happens when you don't do your fucking simple research. Just
5 minutes. 5 minutes.
Not even 5 minutes. Fucking how many black coaches have the Celtics had?
Not even that question. Just bring up like Boston Celtics coaching history. They hired the first black coach in NBA history. He was a player coach. His name's Bill Russell. He's one of the greatest players of all time, and he was the first player coach. Like that is not. Now they have like a history, like all cities do, with like kind of middle class, high class white people. Even Bill Russell explains it because when he played for the Celtics, he was back in a time where he couldn't eat with his white teammates.
Okay.
But then his white teammates, they would go to this place and then they would kind of switch it on him. And then not the players, but the establishment is like, no, you can't eat here or we'll serve you out back. And then his players would go, let's go to a different place. And they would all just go to a different place. And he experienced just like old school racism to where he has a weird feeling towards the city of Boston. Like he loves it, but he also was treated like shit there by a lot of people. So he has a hard time like separating it. So they have a history of it, but it's not prevalent like today. It's not. So,
no.
But no. I don't. But it is weird how people say, like you showed me that one video that actress or that comedian that I forget her name, but she was like, Steven Spielberg hasn't made a movie with a female lead, and it just lists all of these Steven Spielberg movies with female leads, and just because it's not Titanic or not Avatar, and it's just like, no, it's okay to just have a movie.
She went in public in front of thousands of people.
Yeah, you can just say stuff. You can just say stuff. You can just say stuff, but it's like
wow.
But I don't. But it's that knee-jerk reaction. You want to be the social justice warrior. You want to be that, and you want everyone.
You want to be the first one to say it, and that's funny because Denzel Washington said that in an interview. I might have mentioned this before, but he said he was being interviewed, and apparently someone had said something about him that wasn't true, and the interviewee asked him about it, and he was like, he goes, well, and this is a couple years ago. He said, well, in today's society, he said it's not about being right, it's about being first.
Yeah.
Doesn't matter what it is. It's not about being right. It's about being first. Say it first. Whoever says it first gets the most attention. And I'm like,
because especially I was what was it? Matt Damon. He was on the Bill Simmons podcast and he was talking about it, not about race or anything like that, but just the media, how they treat actors, and like the entertainment business. Mm-hmm. And in that business, you can say stuff and be completely wrong. And there's no consequences. But he was like, for political people, like if a news organization said something completely untrue about a politician, there's more legal action you can take, like because you're basically lying about someone's actual, not intentions or jobs. Like say, he said his wife never worked in this one field. I forget what it was. Like a veterinarian or so, I forget what it was exactly, but like you go on her Wikipedia page or like her actual IMDb and it'll say all these things that aren't true about her, and people will interview her and read those things like, oh, you were blah 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 for this many years, and she goes, no, that's not.
That's so weird.
Yeah. So it's just like, huh?
What?
There's all these weird.
Wikipedia. That's the saying. Wikipedia anyone could go on there and fucking write shit. So
you can change it. Yeah, but like you, I don't know. It's interesting that you can just basically say something or have an opinion. Like you think of Indiana Jones and like 3 or 4 of Steven Spielberg's movies and go, oh, all white male lead actors. So all of his movies were like, no, just look at his history. And then, so I'm just
and you know what's funny too is it's
confused.
And I always go down like, you know, like what you said. Oh, he's always been white, you know, white male leads or whatever, and then they tried to correlate that with him being racist or sexist. And it's like, why is it always that? Why is it's that's their default, just racism, sexism, like that's exactly what they go to. It's like, no. Who is the fucking actor in Indiana Jones? Harrison Ford, one of the best, most well-known fucking actors in the world. Hello? Yeah. It's not like It's not like Steven Spielberg is hiring these random wannabe white male actors all the time just to give them a shot and not give any black whatever. It's not like Jesus Christ. This is Harrison Ford we're talking about. Yeah. Shut the fuck up.
And I think I made a reference to Avatar. I think he financed Avatar. I don't think that was James Cameron that directed it.
Yeah,
so
yeah.
I don't
James
know
Cameron, yeah. But it's all the same, you know. It's
real weird.
Yeah, but yeah, I know we went kind of down that road. It was just because I just remembered that, and it was really, really funny how everyone was like, "You're wrong, dude," and he's like,
Well, yeah, that's
"Oh,
what
yeah, that's right."
I told you about the former basketball player. He's retired now, Jalen Rose. He brought up there's one white guy on the men's U.S. basketball team, and he's like, "Oh, he's the token white guy because the United States is afraid to send an all-black team to the Olympics." And it's like there's been like 3 or 4 all-black teams sent to the.
Yeah.
You can't. Okay, in basketball, where 70% of the people are black, 80% of the people, and the only white people.
Tokenism.
Yeah, the only white people are from other countries. Mostly, there's not a lot of like American-born white players in the league. Like you can't. So you want everyone to be black? You want everyone? Like when?
But that wouldn't be racist. See, if he were to say that, if he were to say, "I only want black people in basketball," that would not be racist.
It's weird. It's like a weird. I don't know. I don't know how to describe it because anytime a white coach gets hired, now there's people saying like white privilege about Steve Nash getting hired for the Brooklyn Nets. And it's just, he's like, he doesn't have any coaching experience. There's tons of coaches. I was like, there are former black players that got head coaching jobs immediately after they retired and had no head coaching experience over everybody. It's because they're some of the best NBA players of all time.
Yeah.
They've been basically a head coach and run the point guard position and running plays and schemes and all that for a decade and a half. They don't need to be the assistant.
Coaching.
They don't need to be the assistant coach for 10 years and then, and build up. They don't need to do that. And they have relationships. What's the head coach's main job to do? Because they have all the assistants now. They don't need to be, instrumental in place. They need to create like a culture or a camaraderie on the team. So they have to have relationships. Steve Nash is like best friends with Kevin Durant, who is one of the best players on the planet. And he plays for, guess who? The Brooklyn Nets. So it's like, who do you want to be around you all the time, Kevin? And telling you what to do? Who do you take direction from and you don't get pissed off? Who do you actually listen to and respect? It's like, hey, he sees the game in a way that I don't see it. I'm going to listen to this guy who he's been working with for the past 4 years while he was in Golden State. So it's just, but no. It's not any of that. It's not that. It's because he's white. That's the only reason they hired him. Yeah.
Has nothing to do with merit.
They didn't hire me, who has no NBA experience at all. Yeah. Then you can say yes. That's
then
right.
You might be able to make the argument. Then you might be able to make the argument. It's funny too because what you're saying about that ex NBA player, talking about tokenism. I saw a TikTok where they literally mentioned this guy. He mentions exactly that scenario, and then he brings up because you could do a green screen and it shows like information behind you could put really anything on it.
Yeah.
And then he brings up all the black. I was like, oh yeah, that's right. That's what Chase was talking about.
It's infuriating. It's like, and then like you think these guys would be educated, like they're historians of the game. They can bring up plays and all this other stuff. Yeah. They can all that, and it's just all you need is 3 minutes to do a Google search about any of this stuff. And I can understand when, like in the NFL, there's 30 teams or 32. I forget 30 or 32. There's like one black head coach. There's only one minority head coach. And then you find, I was like, well, how many black people are trying to be head coaches in the league compared to the white people? Because if there's more white candidates than white candidates are going to, on average, get hired more. But then you found out that they weren't even interviewing black people for the jobs. Mm-hmm. They weren't even getting an interview. So you're like, you can't So I was like, so they made the Rooney rule. So you have to at least interview minorities. And it's like, oh, okay, if they weren't even interviewing them, then yes, there was something going on. Like, I don't care about like necessarily getting hired, but if you weren't even looking at them, why aren't you giving them a chance to present their case? That doesn't, that's a form of racism. Yes.
Yeah. But you know what's funny too? I always go back to this. That's a form of discrimination. And they can sue.
Well, yeah.
They could sue.
They did, and then they found they found out there was a discrepancy, and then that rule came into place. They're like, wait, you guys aren't even
now. If there was laws to fight against suing because of racism, then yeah, that would mean that there is a certain amount of racism in America. Yes, but no, there's not. You can't discriminate against someone who's gay. someone who's a woman, someone who's black, white, yellow, orange. But America stands for racism. Jesus Christ.
But it was really weird. It's weird. Like I can see like to some extent their point, but then to where that's the barrier has been broken. There's been countless black coaches. There's been integration of everything, and then especially in basketball, like then they go back to like ownership.
Yeah,
and then there's like, well, there's more rich white people in the United States than there are black people right now.
Like black people make up like 13% of the population in the U.S.
Yeah, so like you have to be a billionaire to own. So like right now, like they have like groups, they have like minority groups that are minority owners that they own just little bits and pieces of it. But it's not like they're saying, oh no, you're black, no, you can't buy an NBA team. They're not doing that.
Yeah, and you know it's funny. So two things I want to say. What you were saying. Just because there's more white people, basically, the whole premise. Oh, there's more white people in America. That means that it's racist. There's a TikTok. There's this black man on TikTok. He's a teacher out in Japan, and he goes on his TikTok and tells these stories that these little Japanese kids will come up to him and lick his skin because they think he tastes like chocolate. Okay, listen. He laughs at it. He's like
that sounds like an SNL skit.
I know, but
like he looks delicious.
And they'll come up to lick him. You don't taste like chocolate. He goes, no, of course not. And he goes, look, not about racism. Okay, it has nothing to do with that. He goes, the culture of Japan. They don't have black people out there.
Yeah.
The majority of Japan, like 99.999%, are Japanese. Does that mean that Japan is racist? No, it doesn't. No, it doesn't. No. So that right there, you're just like, and those kids are innocent. Like they don't fucking know.
Yeah.
If they've ever seen a black man, like what the they're children.
Yeah.
But then
it's a whole interesting concept.
Yeah.
I don't know.
But the second thing I wanted to touch on is, what's the ex-NBA player's name that was talking about tokenism?
Oh, Jalen Rose.
Yeah, how he doesn't either. He just didn't do his research, or he didn't know, or whatnot. That kind of goes back into the same thing with like our politicians, like our leaders, like mostly on the Democrat side, who talk about assault rifles or assault weapons. They say that AR stands for assault rifle. We need to ban assault rifles. And I'm just like, and most of them have been in office for 30 plus years. They either don't actually have any knowledge of what AR actually stands for, or they do, and they're purposely dismissing that and putting their own motives on it.
I think it's optics. I honestly think it's with the whole pandemic thing. It's why
they have to make everyone afraid of everything. That's the whole thing.
Well, not necessarily afraid, but just there's no instead of issues that they can't control. I hate your chair. Instead of issues that they can't control, they focus on things they do, and then so there is no scientific evidence that like the coronavirus was spreading in restaurants, outside restaurants at all, but yet they shut down outdoor dining because it's optics. Because when maybe historians look back, or the constituents look back, or even their opponents that are going to run against them in the upcoming election, they can point to, well, the mayor didn't do anything. Like I honestly think it's because it's like, well, because I don't. In my head, I can't think of what is the benefit for a politician to shut down restaurants, because that's less tax revenue. That's more people who aren't going to like you. Like, what is exactly the purpose of it, unless they're tied in to the other restaurants that they let work, or like they shut down small businesses, but they kept like Walmart, Target open, all the big places. So unless they're tied in, or they're getting funding from that, or they're going to get a kickback later, they're going to do a speech and they're going to get paid $250,000 for the speech, like when they leave office, or write a book and then this company buys so many copies of the book. Unless there's some kind of backdoor dealing going, to me, it doesn't make sense to do that at all.
Honestly, I see what you're saying. I understand that. However, I don't think it's that simple. I think it could be also that, but I think it's a lot. I think it runs a lot deeper than that. I think it's me personally. I think they want power. Let me qualify. Australia, if there's one case of COVID, they shut everything down. Nope. Lockdown again. Lockdown. One case. Lockdown. Lock everyone down. And we have that's the whole thing.
But what is that power good? I don't understand how they're benefiting. Besides, Gavin Newsom was as an example, he shut down wineries, left his open. Mm-hmm. He told everyone don't dine indoors. He went and dined indoors.
But think about it. If he shut every other winery down, and people go to wineries, they're gonna go to his, so he makes more money.
Well, yeah, that makes sense. But there's politicians who don't have wineries that don't have all these things, and so are they
Gavin Newsom?
Are they the ones keeping it open? Are they the one governor in Florida?
Well, I'll say it like that. Well, no. So Nancy Pelosi is Gavin Newsom's aunt.
Yeah.
So I'm pretty sure she has a hand in his fucking wineries. I would bet money on that shit. And then
unless they have businesses that they keep open directly, and that they get rid of their competition. So it's like some mob thing where the mob owns, and they're trying to put their the whiskey, their bourbon out there and shut everyone else's down. Unless this is that on a big scale.
Also, have you noticed who are the ones that they mostly what small businesses are they mostly shutting down? Who are the people that running them?
Well, just everyday Americans,
No. I mean, conservatives. You see what I'm saying? Most of them are conservatives.
Well, most people who own businesses or are into money, practice being conservative over.
And well, yeah, but then who owns Walmart, Amazon, Google, more liberal, corporate offices?
I think they say they're liberal, or they pretend to be liberal. Anyway,
whatever, doesn't matter. Yeah. They still implement liberal policies. You see, so you kind of connect. You're like, oh yeah, that is a little weird. And another thing too is the fact that they also ignore, because they always say follow the science. Why doesn't anyone believe in the science? But then the science is that the survival rate, as I've said a million times, they never mention that. Why are you? They literally try to hide it. Why are you trying to hide that? Why? That because say if there was a Democrat who implemented a few lockdown policies, whatnot, but also gave information, said, hey, look, we'll go into lockdown, whatnot, wear masks, but these are the facts right here. Here's the survival rate. Most people who are hospitalized are elderly with underlying conditions or obese people. If they did that, okay, but they're not. There's I think there's maybe a few Democrats. Most of them only they only go the fear side. Oh, you can die from it. It's very contagious. This and that. You need to wear masks. You need to wear masks. You need to wear masks. That to me, that right there, they have an alternative motive, and it's more than just because I want to seem like I'm doing something. It should be. It's probably true. You're probably right, but there's also other things.
I think some people are obviously motivated by their own personal gain, and we saw that I think with California's governor. But I don't know. I don't know. It was pretty blatant, and if he doesn't get removed, I'm just gonna be.
Yeah, I know. If he doesn't, yeah.
Because he pissed off everybody on every side with all that stuff.
Dude, and California is 95% liberal, and there's over 2 million. No, listen, I read up on this. There's over 2 million signatures to get him out. They recounted, just to make sure everything was legit. There was only 44 signatures that weren't legit. 44 out of over 2 million. It's like, Jesus Christ. And then, of course, he defends himself. What do you mean?
I mean, he has to. I mean, if he's this committed to the lie, he has to pretend like.
Well, I get that. It's like, yeah, I get, but
if he just came out and was like, yeah, I was an asshole, I'm like, dude, you either commit or come out and say you're sorry.
I know, but it's just he's acting like this is coming out of nowhere. It's like, dude, you closed all these wineries down and kept yours open, then told everyone we need to wear masks, and you're caught in a fucking restaurant.
And said, don't eat indoors.
Yeah, like what? Like, and you're just gonna come? This is ridiculous.
No, it's like you can't.
No, like
you have to practice what you preach, especially if you're like basically a law. Like we elected you to go in there and uphold your own regulations.
Yeah, and you're not doing that.
So you have your So I'm like, you can't.
Actually, Larry Elder is running for governor.
Yeah, I saw that. I heard he had some issues, being eligible, and they not canceled. But they said it was illegitimate because of like some paperwork. There were some forms he didn't fill out.
You should have just cried racism.
Well, no, he can, but he can't though because the people that cry racism are on the left, but they don't like him because he's conservative.
He's not gonna do that.
Yeah,
he's not gonna hide behind that bullshit.
That got brought up to him, and he was like, "It won't go anywhere. It won't go anywhere." And it's like it's not so much racism. It's not the color of my skin. It's my face and what I say and I stand for that they don't like. But what was it? He said, so he's suing California.
And he's going to win.
So he has to,
win.
Because it was some clerical error. Clerical error. And so that either they have to inform him to fix, or there's somebody that has the authority in the government to like on the phone. Oh, what is it? Okay.
Yeah.
Mark it down. So I don't know. It would be interesting to see a conservative person get in there and run California, which is the only way, in my head, the only way I think a conservative person could win anything is like during a recall. That's just how like what was it, Arnold Schwarzenegger?
He won. Yeah.
Because of that, because of the recall.
I know it's funny too because like I've seen this one guy. I think he went around and said this, but it was like places like Baltimore and Boston and Detroit and stuff like that. And he would go around and ask these people, he's like, hey, I noticed that most people live here are Democrat. And he's like, they've been voting Democrat for years and years. And he's like, he goes, be honest with yourself. He's like, be honest. You see all the shit that's going on, right? Like the shit, like the horrible crime rate that's going on. Like, he's asking these people, he's like, yeah, it's crazy, all that. He's like, he's like, honestly, what do you have to lose if you vote Republican? If it's already this bad, what do you have to lose? Like, I'll say this: if I was Republican, I mean, I lean more Republican, but if all I did was vote Republican over and over and over and over and over and over, and I continuously saw the same fucking shit in my city, if I lived there for 10 plus years and I kept seeing the same shit, eventually I would have to come to myself and say, look, what do I have to lose? Just try it out. Look at what their policies are. And I would have to, this is just me and my mindset. Because you and I, we can admit when we're wrong. And it's so funny too that's what all of this boils down to. That's what all of this boils down to is people just cannot admit when they're wrong. Okay, anyways, that's a whole nother discussion. But I would have to be like, look, okay, nothing is changing with this party that I'm fucking voting for. So I have to take a step back and look at both parties and look at the fucking policies. And look and see.
Yeah, and you don't have to vote for either one of them. You can vote for a person's who.
Yeah, you can vote. Yeah, exactly. Yeah. And you don't even have to vote. But I mean, it's just like my buddy Kyle. That guy. I love him to death. I've known him for a long time, but he's a fucking idiot. He's a fucking idiot. He's complaining about all these Democrats and all this. He's hardcore for Trump and all this. Didn't even go vote. I'm like, you're the reason why Biden got won. You're the reason. I'm not the whole, but you're part of the reason.
Not the one vote. No. I mean, there are people on both sides. There are millions of people who were for Biden or whatever, and then election time came and they didn't vote for anything. I just couldn't find anyone. I didn't vote for the presidency because I didn't like anybody. So I'm not going to.
I think you like Trump a little bit more than Biden.
No, if I had to choose between the two of them, and that's just because I didn't like how, for some reason, how polarizing Trump is and how much hatred or love. Like it's two really extremes. It's usually never in the middle. Usually, but when I talk to people, they're like, "Yeah, I like some of his policies," and
Yep.
then I just don't like him.
Yeah,
And then
exactly.
yeah, so he either had people wanting, um, had people rioting because he's a racist. They thought he was a racist. Or yeah, it's just what did he ever say? Like you can say he's like misogynistic because like he's a rich person who can have basically any hot woman he wants to, and you can say that's kind of you can just do whatever you want with them. But that's a guy shooting a shit, joking around with his butt like a buddy of his.
Mm-hmm.
So that's not really. It's just him being an
And
idiot.
you know what's funny too? They actually say that when Trump said that, when he was caught saying just grab him by the pussy, apparently he was a Democrat then. That's the whole news, and I'm like,
yeah, and that's what the whole thing is. When I don't, um, it's all a game because they switch sides. So Trump knew he wouldn't get the votes if he was a Democrat, as far as being because like the other Democrat leaders have to put you up. I forget what it is, but they have to put you up there in order to be like chosen or whatever. So like what's the there's like an election. Each party has like an election or to get so many votes to be the representative of that party. I forget what it's called.
the Electoral College, is that what you're saying?
Not the Electoral College. No, that's what the actual election. But each party runs their own like election or they
Campaign.
Yeah, to campaign to get like support to be the nominee.
Yeah, okay.
I forget what it is. That shows how much I know about politics. But Trump knew if he went on the Democrat side, he wouldn't win because they were all going for Hillary at the time. He wouldn't even get in. So he switched to Republican just to be.
Well, I also believe that because he implemented a lot of things that really did help America out.
Yeah. Well, I'm not saying he didn't do like he did nothing, but I'm saying I really like the which is strange. The what did he do? Like the school choice, kids they don't have to go to school within their district. They can choose whatever school they want to. And I'm just thinking like, why would you want to have kids being forced?
Yeah, I know.
To go to one school. Like you should be able to, if the school accepts them, they have enough that they have the what is it? They didn't act out. They didn't, they're not violent or whatever. You can have schools that have prerequisites. Like, oh, you didn't beat anybody up. You're not
a crazy little.
You're not a crazy little shit. Yeah, so you can come to our school.
Yeah,
no problem.
And it's funny too. It's funny too because obviously everyone, Trump's a misogynist because he said grab him by the pussy 8 years ago. He wasn't even in office then. Biden said some actually racist shit while a senator, but that's okay.
Well, no, they do. They forget about it. It's like
selective memory.
It's like a sports team. It's like whatever the other team does, they're jerks, but your team can do the same exact thing, and they're just playing. They're gritty. They're hard workers. And that's the same kind of thing. It's real interesting to see, like as you get older and you see all this stuff, like when Biden said the N-word, and no one, like he slipped up, he combined two words, and he wasn't calling a black person that he just randomly said the word. Nobody said anything. It was not news anywhere at all. But if Trump had done the same thing, and it would be on the cover of the New York Times. So
across the world. Yeah,
and it's just like there's some other. It's real weird how the news organizations, they're basically entertainment businesses, and I don't know if I hope through all of this and when it becomes people start to see it. I think like the smaller news outlets that aren't beholden to anybody and where actual journalism is done and they're bipartisan and that, like, I hope those grow, and then I hope people see it and then they don't trust CNN, they don't trust Fox, they don't trust because they have an agenda they all do to some extent. They have people to answer to. The people that own those businesses lean a certain way.
I know that's another reason why I usually like with like Ben Shapiro. I mean Ben Shapiro, he's more conservative, But like, and also Michael Knowles. I really like Michael Knowles because he's more conservative, but he does point out like a lot of the faults with both sides. Like for instance, I saw a video last night I was at work, and it was this I can't remember, I think she was like 4th grade, but she brought up that, and this is scary, but she brought up that her teacher asked her, this is a 4th grader, what her gender was.
Yeah, it was on some tests. I saw, even though I don't like Tim Pool, because he's always, the earth is ending, it's gonna...
Dude, you know what, I literally said that today. Like he was like, the economy's gonna collapse in the home. I'm like, okay, dude, I get he gets views. I'm like, okay, chill. You need to relax with that. Like, you're going now.
He's doing the exact same thing the left is doing, like with Trump. He's never going to get out of office. He's going to, stage a coup, and he's going to be president forever. What are you talking about? You're just wanting to get clicks on shit. Can we talk about real issues, please? Real issues.
Like, be realistic, man. Like, just because like these polls say this shit, it doesn't mean it's going to happen. Like, I was watching the real quick. Wait, hold on. What was I talking about? Oh yeah, Michael Knowles. With Tim Pool, he was talking about like the homelessness. He's like, if they don't fix this homelessness at the last minute, then or it's like something with like the inflation. So there's going to be a bunch of homelessness, and I'm like, dude, they're gonna change this last minute. They're not gonna no. But so let me finish real quick, my son, because I'll fucking forget.
Yeah, Michael Knowles, gender, little kids.
You would like Michael Knowles, like I said, because he's not a comedian, but he does, like I said, he will. If like conservatives say something that's not really true or not, he's like, I don't like that, and he'll kind of express it. But so what he was saying is he was showing showed the video of the little girl, and she was talking about that, and he made it known. He goes, I don't like it when children on either side, conservative or liberal, he goes, I don't like it when either party has these children go and talk about politics. He goes, they're children. They don't know what the fuck they're talking about. I mean, he didn't say the F word. It's on YouTube. But he goes, they don't know what they're talking about. They have no idea what they're talking about. They're kids. I was like, you know what? That's a really good point.
No, I don't want to hear from children. I don't want to hear from children. I want to hear from people who've been in, politics for so long and are actually, they come across as human beings instead of just robot politicians.
Yeah. But but that video, he said that because he said he liked that video because that video wasn't really about politics with the little girl, explaining it. She was just kind of exposing. And what it was though is the teacher told the kids to not say anything, to not tell their parents about that curriculum. I'm like, what, dude? Oh my God, man! If I had a child and my teacher was teaching that shit, like, it doesn't matter what they're teaching. If I found out that my children's teacher told them not to tell me what they're learning, oh my God, it would be an assault charges all over. I would lose my mind. I'd fucking flip.
Yeah, but that's what they want you to do too.
Well, no, I understand, but you understand. But like, I don't like in that moment. I don't care what happens. I don't care what their motive is for making me freak out. I don't care. Like, dude, like, that's not, dude. Like, obviously you'd have to go about it the legal way. Obviously, but it's just. That's wrong. Like, that's complete. Like, even if it was a conservative teacher teaching kids.
If an adult is telling a kid
not to tell your parents about
anything at all, don't tell your parents about this.
I don't know who you think you are.
Yeah. Like, I don't care what you're doing. No, yeah.
Jesus, man. Like,
I was like, if I ever have kids, and I was like, listen, if anyone tells you to not tell me anything, I need you to come to me immediately because those people are bad. Those people are not, they don't have your best intentions. I was like, you need to be open with me about everything. I was like, if you're scared to get in trouble, and then you won't get in trouble. Yeah, you'll get a free pass. I don't care what you did. I don't care what you did. You're a little kid. You need to tell me exactly what happened. And then the audacity and the balls that a teacher would even say that out loud. Don't tell your parents about this. It's scary, and I wonder how much it's happening.
Oh, no, it's happening a lot.
But you don't know how much it's happening. You can say it's happening a lot, but you don't know.
No. There's I've seen videos where there's a lot of these parents are going to these school board meetings. Lots Like I've seen at least 4 or 5 different videos of different parents going to different school boards and expressing this bullshit, especially with CRT, critical race theory.
Yeah,
Because
but
critical race
there
theory
are
is
people pushing against it, but I'm wondering how much like there's difference between like curriculum that's been approved by the board and all that other shit, but then there's the teacher saying don't tell your parents about this. That is what I have a problem. Like if the teachers come out and say, hey, this is what we're going to teach or whatever, and then those school board people are elected by the parents, like they have to get elected somehow, right, and get that position. So if enough they can get those people off the board. That's not.
And I hope that's what happens.
And that's not. Yeah, all those people are elected. As far as I understand, I don't understand how you'd be on a school board and not be.
And then there was Hasbro. Did you hear about Hasbro?
I don't know it.
This Hasbro, the toy fucking company.
Yeah.
This whistleblower went to Project Veritas and he secretly recorded this training video. And the training video was literally talking about white babies coming out as actual races. I saw the video. You can look it up. I was like, and that is part of critical race theory.
Well, yeah, that there's nothing you can do about it. You're just born a racist.
And I'm like, dude.
But I think the more people talk about it, which is a good thing, the more people see all this shit, there's going to be a push against it. There's always going to be people who are just for any radical idea because it's new and whatever. And it also promotes people like there's always going to be people who get like pushed up the social ladder, the power ladder because of any kind of construct or idea. I think your mic is like it's making noise.
No, it's
adjust a little bit. No. It's not going. I hear like your beard in it. Oh, and another. I got the Xbox. You said you have one or no?
What?
The Xbox wireless headset.
Yeah.
Yeah. The top part, because I don't know if I have a big head.
I don't like it.
It hurts a little bit.
After a while, even like the ears, it starts to. I'm like, this is dumb.
The ears don't, but just I have to adjust it. Sometimes I get like just,
on top of my head, yeah,
just the right spot because I think the
just the right spot.
Just the right. I think that band that goes over is too narrow.
Yeah.
So instead of having it wider, and then that way it displaces the pressure over a wider area, and then it just sits right because I have a dent in my head anyway. So I don't know why. But it sits right in that dent. And then after 45 minutes, it hurts. And then speaking of dispensing pressure, you haven't seen Ice Road with Liam Neeson?
No, that's right. You were telling me it was a terrible, terrible movie.
Oh, like there are certain scenes you can tell it's a budget movie.
Yeah.
It is really like, I want you to watch it because it's so bad. Like Liam Neeson has I want to record it on my phone and put it up as like an Instagram or Facebook story. But they have a fight scene on a frozen lake.
Yeah.
And it's the worst fight scene I've ever seen in my life. It's Liam Neeson. He's old. He's 70 something years old. He's an old.
Yeah.
But they don't treat him as Sam Fisher, and he's a truck driver. So like he's just like a tough guy, but he's not a fighter. So he fights this younger guy, this young corporate guy who actually has some skills. And the guy just is like blocking Liam Neeson's slow punches. And then he steps through and then pushes Liam Neeson on the ice, and Liam Neeson falls on the ice and then slides a little bit. And then the guy just looks at him and then goes towards his destination. Like, I don't need to deal with Liam. Then Liam Neeson sticks his arm out and trips the guy. Then the guy falls on the ice, right? And then so Liam Neeson does the same thing. He goes by. That guy trips Liam Neeson. It's like a 4-year-old choreographed this thing. It is the worst fight scene.
Yeah, that reminds me of because Cuba Gooding Jr. he was real famous, and then he fell off, and then he started doing like these B movies. I remember there's this one clip. I can't even remember the name of the movie.
So, but I mean, make your money however you can.
I get it. But there's one movie. Like I said, I can't remember the movie, but the clip was Cuba Gooding Jr. He was fighting this guy, and like this guy got into a car, but then somehow Cuba Gooding Jr. put like this bomb in the car, and he gets into his car and he's waiting, and like the camera's right in front of Cuba Gooding. It's a B movie, like terrible. Yeah, and like Cuba Gooding Jr. The camera's right in front of his face, and Cuba Gooding Jr. He's just staring at the guy waiting in his car. He's staring at him, and all of a sudden the car explodes and goes up like 20 feet in the air. Cuba Gooding, it shows Cuba Gooding Jr.'s face in slow motion. Look up at the car, and then look down. Boom! I was like, Cuba, oh no! Why are you? You're so awesome! Oh my God! And
why are you here?
Oh man! But okay. So we got a few minutes left. I guess we can go over, to talk a little bit about Battlefield and stuff like that. What we wanted to talk about, but then I mentioned that fucking
what you want to talk about. Yeah, if I ever want to hear you talk for 45 minutes, I just bring up critical race theory and left it. You're like,
actually, we've never actually talked about critical race theory, so.
I don't even know. All I understand about it is that people are born racist. That's all.
Yeah, no, that's basically the premise.
That's the only part I need to hear. And it's like, what?
Yeah. You're like, nope. Nope.
Yeah, is it only white people? Are Asians race?
Basically, yeah. That's
like
they teach. The whole premise is to teach white children that they're inherently racist, and that black people are and always will be victims of racism if they're around white people. Basically, I'm like, oh my! How is this not the most evilest shit on the planet?
I don't know. Like, you always want to kind of like check your, like, whatever system you have in place, you want to kind of check it and think of new ideas and stuff like that.
So sure, of course.
Maybe that's what's going on, and that's just a swing and a miss.
But then again, even then, you still can't have systems like that. I mean, you could put that in there, but it's going to be shut down immediately. Someone's going to find it and see it. Someone will be like, oh, yeah, okay, no, that's racist. I'm going to sue you because there's discrimination laws.
Yeah, but like we have laws in place to where if those things happen. Yeah, but talk about your little Battlefield news.
Well, so Battlefield, the beta, if you pre-ordered it, you can play it on September 4th, I think it was. And then for regular people who don't pre-order it, you can play it September 6th. And it goes until September 11th.
Is it an open beta or is it?
Yes,
okay.
Open beta.
So you can just
and
get on it?
And I really like that because it basically lasts for a week. And I'm like, see, that right there, an open beta that lasts for a fucking week, you can actually see shit results. You're like, oh, okay, so here. You can actually test your fucking shit.
You okay?
Stupid asses. No, I'm not okay. Okay. And look, it's not even about like, because I know if anyone watches this, they'll be like, oh, he's just upset because he's not going to get an invite to the Halo Infinite.
Starts this weekend.
Test. Yeah, I honestly really don't give a shit. And another reason, because it's this flight test is only with bots. It'd be cool to play, obviously, but it's just like I said. It's just they're
just doing it in sections. I want to see that academy, that Spartan Academy.
Yeah,
to see what kind of drills.
I think that might be in there. I think that might be.
Yeah,
there.
I heard it was. That's the kind of, I'm like, ooh, okay.
Yeah,
kind of want to see how the game is.
And then, so I mean, we haven't really talked about the portals or Battlefield port. Like, I know you don't really like custom games, but hear me out. Just hear me out. Okay?
Yeah, I don't care. We're gonna have one tank versus all electrical bots. I'm like, I don't care.
You don't have to do that. You don't have to do that.
I know you don't have to, but
you and I, like, if we want to, me, you, and Dylan, it could just be us three, and we can play against like 64 German soldiers, just AI bots.
Well, yeah, it's cool because I think you have to have that because there's not single player, right? So I think you have to have things to where you can set up co-op missions.
Yeah, of course.
That. Or if you just want to have a big old multiplayer match, you can.
And the thing is this is going to be a streamer, like people on Twitch and like YouTube. This is going to be a dream for them, because, dude, think about it. You can just set it up, and you can have your chat join the server, and then your chat can think up something. What do you guys want to see next? What round do you like? They could have, like Germans against Battlefield 3 soldiers, whatever. Yeah. And then what next? What chat? What do you want next? Tanks, like one fucking Abrams tanks versus however many, like certain jets or whatever, man. Like, you could, dude. Are you kidding me?
Yeah.
That's one of the smartest things.
Yeah, more options is always better. But to me, I want to play conquest mode, rank up, get new weapons, all that stuff. And then I heard you can rank up through this mode, but then I'm like,
well, no, yeah.
But there's going to be limitations on it.
Yeah, I saw they couldn't really talk because Jack Frags on YouTube. He actually had an interview with one of the devs, and he asked about that, and they said that they're gonna heavily put an emphasis on controlling that, and the progressive system, and also anti-cheat, and also I'm like, thank you.
But they need to they don't need to just say that. They need to come out and prove that it works.
What he
said
just say
was anti-cheat, and then the game comes out and you're like, oh, we didn't know about that. So
no. Let me finish. What he said he couldn't go into too many details about that as of right now. So he said that they'll definitely talk about that later on more when the game comes out.
When the game comes. So, when does it come out again?
October 22nd. That's a Friday. And I'm like, I'm calling out that Thursday because I know it's going to come out at 9 p.m. And I'm doing nothing but playing that game all weekend.
You don't need to do.
Don't tell me what I don't do and don't need to do.
You're so dumb.
Even though there's probably going to be service problems.
The worst time to play a new game is the day it comes out. So go to work. There's nothing you're going to miss. There's nothing you're going to miss. And you're going to be playing the beta anyway.
No, you know what, though? Here's the thing. Because with Battlefield 5, the servers, when that game launched, the servers were fine. I'm not kidding. I remember that very specifically because that was really one of that was, if I'm not mistaken, the only Battlefield that didn't have server problems when it released.
Okay.
I was very, very pleasantly surprised. And a lot of people like to forget that shit because they're fucking idiots.
Was the one game out of like the past five that had server issues?
Yes.
I'm not playing a game that's multiplayer online.
I know.
I'm not doing it.
Especially with Halo and how they're talking. Yeah, we want to robustly test it. Okay, so you're not actually robustly.
They're coming out with they're going to come out with a small little tester thing. Then they're going to have another larger one, and then they're going to scale up. That's how they're going to do it.
I hope they do it. They actually say what they're.
Well, I know you didn't put the Master Chief Collection got good. I know just got good and stable. They had issues for years with it, matchmaking and all of those things. I don't know if it's because they took old technology, old games over here, and then tried to make it new. I have no idea what their issues were. Because plus it's like 6 or 7 games in one, so maybe that was. I have no idea. Speaking of that, we have to finish Halo 3.
Puncher.
I'm so sick. I'm so sick. Every day. See you, thieves. See you, thieves.
That's okay. You got
But puncher. I know. But I'll let you go to work. You gotta go. You gotta get out of here. We gotta go to.
I think that was because usually we only talk about video games and then like towards the end we only really talk about because talking about politics and like conservative politics, that's pretty popular. So.
I don't care what's popular. I just want to talk about.
I'm just saying, people there's a lot of people who like to hear about this kind of stuff.
But usually people who like video games only want to hear about video games.
Well, of course. That's why
I like a mixture. There's the guy, Colin Moriarty. He's really into U.S. He's a history major, and he likes politics and all that stuff. But he has a huge video game podcast. And so whenever he talks about politics, he always gets feedback like, oh, we don't want to hear about that. We just want to hear about video games. So he drops it in whenever it's relevant to video games, but never just because. But then, so it's interesting that it's you do or you don't. But I don't mind hearing about politics and video games. Like what the people who talk about video games and report on it, I would like to know, what do you think about certain issues?
Yeah, of course. Yeah.
Whatever.
See, if you don't like it, then as you said, you put timestamps and stuff like that. So.
Yeah, that's it. Anyway.
Do you still upload it to YouTube? I don't even know.
Yeah.
For sure. I just thought I'd ask.
All the time. I wouldn't be recording right now if I didn't.
All right.
So I never did the intro, but this has been another episode of the Video Games and Nonsense podcast. Mostly nonsense because Ray can't stop talking about politics.
Hey.
I'm Chase Carter. That's
Raymond Woods.
We appreciate you guys for watching, and we'll talk to you next week.
You know what? Now that you didn't, now that there's no intro, we're going to get less viewers.
I remember